Thank you for joining me. My name is Gilbert, and I'll be guiding you through some yoga today. This class style is going to be a fusion, a little mixture of Hot 26, if you're familiar with it, or Bikram, where we're holding poses a little longer, combining some vinyasa elements where we'll be moving with our breath. So to join me, all you'll need today is your mat, and then we'll start standing at the back of our mat with your feet together. And then feet together, grounded and tall. And just to relax a little bit, roll your shoulders up and down your back. Just start to take notice of how you feel in the space that you're in. Noticing the temperature around you, noticing the quality of your breath. And if you'd like, bring some movement to your neck. You can tuck your chin down, then rock your head a little left to right. And just steady breathing, slowly in through your nose and out of your nose. Next time your chin passes through center, go ahead and pause and just lengthen through the crown of your head. And notice how the mat feels beneath your feet. So if you can, ball mounds of the big toes to touch. And engage your quads so you feel your kneecaps lift. Slight tuck here in your tailbone. Now go ahead and reach your hands up to the ceiling. And you're standing tall. Lift your left hand a little higher, create a little more space. Then lift your right hand a little higher, again, more room. And lift, and lift. So as you lift, notice your core engaged. So you're supporting this movement without just bunching too much by your neck. And as you inhale, look up towards your hands. And then exhale, cactus your arms and back bend. So strong here across your back. More weight in your heels and chest lifts. And keep looking up and inhale, bring your palms to touch. And exhale, forward fold all the way down towards the floor. And inhale, halfway lift, hands to your shins, knees or thighs, lengthening your spine. And exhale, crouch and curl. Bring your fingertips to the floor, hips to heels, forehead to knees. So you're taking your spine in the opposite direction. And one more breath in. And exhale, ground your heels. Inhale, take your hands up. And exhale, relax your shoulders and reach your left hand higher. Now reach your right arm up and across, grab for your wrist. And exhale, side body stretch. You're rolling your left ribs back and pressing your left hips forward so you're opening your heart towards the ceiling. And inhale, back up to center. Exhale, relax your shoulders. Lift your right arm. Lift your left up and across, grab for your right wrist. And then exhale, side body stretch. Roll your left ribs back. Right hips towards the front, and then heart open towards the ceiling. And inhale, back up to center. Exhale, back bend, cactus your arms. And inhale, hands to touch. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, crouch and curl, just a moment to reset. And here, breathe in. And breathe out. And breathe in. Heels down, breathe out. Inhale, mountain pose. Now this time, bring your hands together overhead. So you're interlacing your fingers. This is called a steeple grip. So fingers interlaced, pointer fingers up towards the ceiling. Think about getting your biceps or your triceps right behind your ears. Lengthening, you can try to eliminate the gap of light between your arms and your neck. If this doesn't feel accessible, just grab for your wrist. Ground evenly here through both feet. Lengthen, and now side body stretch up and over to the left. Again, roll your left ribs back, open your heart towards the ceiling. Strong here in your legs. We'll breathe here for another 3, and center in 2. And inhale, rise up. You can relax your shoulders for a moment, breathe out. And inhale, lift, lengthen. Exhale, bump your hips to the right and reach up and over to the left. And if you have the steeple grip, squeeze the heels of your palms tight in towards one another. Last 3, last 2. And inhale, rise up. Exhale, keep your steeple grip and bring your hands to heart center. And reach straight out in front of you. Find an external rotation here in your arms. Tucking your tailbone, look straight up, reach straight up. Now this can be your standing back bend. If you want to take this further, continue to lift, let your gaze guide you, and then your fingertips follow. If this feels like too much, just cactus your arms. And breathing here for another 5, and 4, 3, last 2. And inhale, rise up. And bring your head through your arms. Send your hips back, but lead with your chest. Long, flat line, slowly coming all the way down. And release your hands at the bottom. Now your fingertips are going to come underneath your heels, pinkies side by side. If that's too much, just grab for your ankles. Think forearms behind your calves. So stomach to thigh compression. And start to lift your hips. Pull against your heels. Crown of your head towards the floor. Forehead towards your shins. And you squeeze your glutes to protect your hamstrings. You engage your quads to straighten your legs. And here for another 3. Return to steeple grip in 2. And 1. Steeple grip, arms long and reaching out in front of you, flat back, slowly rise all the way up. And exhale, release your hands by your sides. Now go ahead and separate your feet about hips width distance, feet parallel to one another. Coming into the awkward series, so just a series of chair poses. Reach your arms straight out in front of you, shoulders relaxed down your back, and active here in your hands as though you're pressing into a countertop. Bring your weight towards your heels, and exhale, slowly sit into a chair. So we're naturally going to lean forward, but keep your shoulders drawn back, and if you can, tuck in your tailbone. Feel the muscles here in your thighs, squeeze to the bones. If you can, pulling your knees and shins back. It's in a little deeper for 3 and 2. Easing your breath for 1. Inhale, rise, and keep your arms lifted. Now lift and spread your toes and ground small toe to big toe. And then pop up on your tiptoes. Now if this feels like enough, feel free to stay here. If we're moving further, squeeze your shins in towards one another and just bend at your knees, slide your back down a wall, and keeping your tailbone tucked, keeping your gaze straight out in front of you. And steady here with your breath. Heels high as your hips sit low, breathing 3. Rise in 2. And inhale up. Exhale, ground your heels. Again, keeping your arms lifted. Now, if you have any knee issues, feel free to take either of those first 2 variations. Otherwise, pivot on your heels, point your toes in slightly, and now squeeze your knees and thighs in towards one another. Shoulders start over your hips. Lift your hips up or heels up an inch, and slowly slide your back down the wall. And using your exhale to take you down. Continue to squeeze your thighs to help with your balance. Now knees here below your hips, so if there was a ball in your lap, it would roll right off. And squeeze your thighs, lean your shoulders back. Press down through the ball mounds of your big toes. Last 3. Rise in 2. And inhale, take it up. Now exhale, go ahead and ground. Step your feet together. Now staying at the back of your mat, coming into an eagle. Bring your palms together overhead and look up. Now bring your right arm underneath your left. You're crossing at your triceps and palms to touch. If that's not available, back of hands, feel free to just give yourself a hug. Hug your elbows down towards your navel. Shift your weight into your left leg, come on your right tiptoes, and sit low, lean back. And from here, cross your right leg up and over. Now everything wraps and squeezes to the midline of your body. See if you can pull your right hip back. And if there was a mirror in front of you, you'd see your forearms over your shins and shoulders directly over your hips. Weight here in your left heel. Sitting down and back just for another 3 and 2. Inhale, unwrap. Come into a single-legged Tadasana with a steeple grip. So again, interlace your fingers overhead. Lift and reach. Now kick out through your heel and point your toes. Take a step forward. Lower your chest. This is balancing stick. Body comes into a capital T. Reach out through your toes. Reach out through your fingertips. Hold and breathe for 5 and 4, 3. Last 2. Step to the back of your mat in 1. And then we'll take it right into the left side. Left arm underneath your right. Same options, palms to touch, back of hands or grab shoulders. And then hug your elbows down to your navel. Shift your weight into your right leg. Come onto your left tiptoes. Sit low, lean back. And can you cross your left leg over the right? And here, just playing with your balance. Steady still with your breath. And here for 3. Unwrap in 2. And 1. Slowly bring it up. Single-legged Tadasana with your steeple grip. Same thing, now kick out through your heel. Point through your toes. Take your step and lead with your chest. Let your back leg lift behind you. Hold and reach. And keep your gaze down and out in front of you. Breathing here for 5 and 4, 3. Last 2. Step to the back of your mat in 1. And go ahead and relax your arms. Now right here, usually in this class, we'll offer a break. So if you need to grab some water, feel free to grab a drink of water. If you're feeling all right, I'm glad you're feeling all right. And let's just keep going. So here, standing again at the back of your mat. Now roll your shoulders up and down your spine. And shift your weight into your left leg. Now go ahead and lift your right knee. And go ahead and lift your right knee. So think about 90 degrees at your hip, at your knee, and then flex your foot. So option 1, we're staying right here. If you want to go further, you're hinging from your hip, you're rounding your spine, interlacing all your fingers underneath the ball mound of your right foot. So this is where you can stay. If your left leg is straight and you feel all right, want to go further, start to look forward. Kick into your hands, pull against your foot. Shoulders drop back, heart pulls towards your toes. And we'll be here for 7, and 6, 5, 4, 3, last 2, mindfully release in 1, and ground. So shift your weight into your right leg, and roll your shoulders up and down your back. Go ahead and lift your left knee, flex your left foot. Again, you can stay here. If you want, you're rounding your spine, interlacing all your fingers underneath the ball mound of your left foot. If you're taking this further, look forward, kick into your hands, pull against your foot, and breathe. Here, 7, and 6, 5, 4, 3, last 2, mindfully release in 1, and ground. And settle through your breath. Next posture, standing bow point pose. So start with your hands straight out in front of you, palms facing one another, and think of an archer. Pull your right elbow back and keep your gaze over your left hand. Reach your right hand behind you and bring it by your hip, and right foot in your right hand. Left palm face down and lift up. Option 1, you're staying right here. As you feel ready, keep lifting. Kick your toes up towards the ceiling, and then slowly reach your left hand forward. Look over your left hand, just here for 7, and 6, 5, 4, 3, last 2, and 1. Go ahead and release and take both hands forward. And now slowly switching sides, pull your left elbow back. Keep looking over your right hand, and open arm twist. Left hand lowers behind your left hip so your left foot can meet it. Now turn your right palm down and reach up. Again, feel free to stay here. For moving further, lift as high as you can first. Kick towards the ceiling, then reach your right arm forward. Looking over your right fingertips, breathing here, 7, and 6, 5, 4, 3, last 2, and release, and 1. And you can bring your hands by your sides, and take a breath in, and a breath out. One more time, breathe in, and breathe out. Inhale, take your hands high. Exhale, back bend. Inhale, hands up. Palms to touch, and exhale, forward fold. Halfway lift, breathe in. Now crouch and curl, breathe out. Walk it out to a plank. Shoulders over wrists, heels over toes. And exhale, lower just halfway to chaturanga. And press up to plank. Lift your right leg as you breathe in. Now step your right foot forward, breathe out. Open to a warrior 2, so spin your left heel to the floor behind you, and shoulders over your hips, reach wide. Open your palms, look to your back hand. Hot triangle pose, bring your right elbow to the inside of your right knee, left arm up to the ceiling. If you want a little more here, turn your right palm, left palm to the front, maybe extend and reach out through both hands. And breathe here, 5, and 4, 3, last 2, and 1. Reverse warrior, take your right hand straight up. And exhale, warrior 2. Inhale, star pose. And bring your hands to touch. And exhale, sit into a horse pose. And here you can just move a little bit in your hips. If you want to take your hands to the floor, take your hands down to the mat. And when you're ready, back up. It's a little deeper. And inhale, hands high. And take your arms out to a T, pivot on your heels, point your toes in, lower down halfway. So you want to make sure you have a flat back. Notice if your weight is in your heels, and lean more weight forward towards your toes, and slowly take it all the way down. Hands grab the outside of your heels. If you can, your ankles or big toes, again, find what's accessible. Lengthen your spine, then bend at your elbows, pulling the crown of your head down towards the floor. And breathe. Continuing here again, squeeze your glutes to protect your hamstrings. Engage your quads to straighten your legs. But we don't want any strain. Ease in your breath for 3. Release your hands in 2. And 1, arms wide, flat back. Inhale, come all the way up. And bring your palms to touch. Now shorten the distance between your feet. So you got about 3 feet in between your feet. Pivot on your heels and turn towards the front. So right foot straight out in front of you, left foot's more of a 45-degree angle pointing towards the left corner of your room. If you can, triceps press just behind your head. Look up as you breathe in, and now exhale, tuck your chin to chest. You're gonna bring your forehead to your right knee. Press your fingertips into the floor. So this is a big compression through the front side of your body, big opening through the back side of your body. Want your hips in the same line and weight evenly distributed between both feet. Just here for 3. Unwrap in 2 and 1. Slowly make it all the way up. And interlace your hands behind your back. Roll your shoulders up and down. Open your heart. Now bend your right knee and bring your stomach to thigh. And your gaze down towards the floor. You can stay in a humble warrior if this feels better for you. If you want to take it a toppling tree, lean into your right foot. Lift your left leg behind you. And breathe. Here 5. And 4. 3. Last 2. And 1. Standing split. Hands down to the mat. And just for a breath in. Exhale, step your left foot back. Inhale to a plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Back up to plank and down dog. And lift your left leg. Switching sides, step your left foot forward. Then open your warrior 2, spin your right heel to the mat. And again, shoulders over your hips. Reach wide, now open your palms. Look towards your backhand. Hot triangle pose, left elbow to your left knee. Right arm right up to the ceiling. Feel free to stay. If you want to take it elsewhere, extend and reach through both arms. And strong here in your foundation. Stacked through your shoulders. Stay through one more breath out. And inhale, reverse warrior, left hand straight up. And exhale, warrior 2. Inhale, take a star pose. This time, bring your hands together and sit into your horse. Bring your hands to your inner thighs. Lengthen your spine, lean forward, and then twist to the right. And inhale to center. And exhale, twist to the left. Inhale, center. One more time, exhale to the right. And center. And left. And center. Hands together. Sit low, then open back up to star. Pivot on your heels, bring your toes in. This time, hands behind your back. Interlace your fingers, open your heart. And here, take a standing separate leg stretch. If this variation doesn't feel good, feel free to release your hands and take them to the floor. This is just a different option for you. One more breath in. Go ahead and release your hands as you breathe out. Inhale all the way up. And palms to touch. This time, left thumb over your right. Again, shorten the distance between your feet. Pivot on your heels and turn to the front. So left foot straight out in front of you. Right foot more towards the corner of the room. Head presses into your triceps and look up. Breathe in. Exhale, chin to chest. Round your spine. Bring your forehead to meet your left leg. Press your fingertips into the floor. Weight again evenly distributed between both feet. Now if your hands came apart, bring them back together, left them over right. Press your head into your arms, straighten your left leg and roll up. And hands together behind your back. Left them over your right, interlace your fingers and open your chest. Now bending your left knee, stomach to thigh, feel free to stay in a humble warrior, looking down in front of your left foot. Or toppling tree, lean into your left leg and lift your right toes behind you. And breathe. One more breath in. And standing split, hands to the floor as you breathe out. And inhale, lift a little higher. Now exhale, step your right foot back. Inhale to plank. Exhale, chaturanga. And go ahead and press right back up to plank. And lift your right leg. And we'll take this to a wild thing. Roll to the outside of your left foot. Plant your right toes. Lift and open the front side of your body. And we'll take this to a pigeon. Bring your right hand back down to the mat. Right knee behind your right wrist. Ground your right shin. Left leg extends straight back behind you. Square your hips and open your heart. And from here, slowly take it down. We've got about 5 to 7 breaths here. So as things settle, just notice the thoughts that maybe come up, maybe the sensations in your body. Just allowing everything to just move gently with your breath. So we're not holding on and we're not holding back, but just allowing everything to move. And last 3 and 2. Walk your hands back underneath your shoulders in 1. Tuck your left toes, lift your left knee, step back to plank. We'll switch sides, lift your left leg. And from here, roll to the pinky side edge of your right foot so you can ground your left toes, open up into your wild thing, strong through the back side of your body, open through the front. And take another breath in. And bring your left hand down as you breathe out, left knee behind your wrist, ground your shin. Walk your right leg straight back, lift here in your heart, and take it down. Find your pigeon pose. And 5 to 7 breaths. For 3 and 2. Slowly walk your hands back in 1. Press up, tuck your left toes, and step back to plank. You can lower your knees, untuck your toes, lower chin, chest, hips to the floor. Low cobra pose, feet are together, tops of your feet pressed down. Light here in your hands, and then lift your heart. You can gaze down the tip of your nose. And if you do want a little more, press into your hands, just to give yourself some more space. And if you're using your hands, pull your heart forward and keep your tailbone tucked to protect your low back. Here for one more breath in. And exhale, slowly lower down. You can tap your chin, then gaze over your right shoulder. Relax your arms by your side, 3 rounds of breath. And chin back to center. And turn your palms down and lift your legs. Start to lift your chest. Now lift your arms and breathe. Scapula pull in, reach back. Extend through the crown of your head. Look down the tip of your nose. Can you lift a little higher for 3 and 2 and 1. Tap your chin, gaze over your left shoulder. And 3 rounds of breath. And here breathe into your belly so you can relax your low back, creating a little more space. And now a floor bow. So a floor bow isn't in your practice if your body's not ready for it. Feel free to take another locust. That's what we just did, lifting our chest, arms, and legs. Feel free to take another cobra. If you feel ready for floor bow, bring your heels in, and you're grabbing the pinky side edge of your feet, both feet. Shoulders back, chest lifts. Now from here, start to kick into your hands. Eyes lift, heart lifts. Breathe here for 7 and 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and release. Tap your chin. Gaze over to the right. Maybe windshield wiper your legs. Again, breathe into your belly. And chin back to center. Hands underneath your shoulders. Press up into a tabletop. And take a cat pose for a moment. Chin to chest, tuck tailbone. Just notice how this feels, taking your spine in the opposite direction. And walk your hands back so you can take a seat on your heels. And half tortoise pose, roll your shoulders up and down your back, an external rotation here in your arms. And here, take your hands up. I'm taking the prayer grip, so now it's just your thumbs crossed as your palms press into one another. Lift and lengthen. Keep your chin away from your chest. And if your hips need to lift a little bit, let them lift. But we're leaning forward with a flat back, bringing our nose to the mat before our arms. And if our arms get there first, it's okay, just something we're working towards. And from here, press your hands down. And exhale, release. Now separate your knees about 2 fist distance apart. And we're coming into camel. So stack knees, hips, shoulders. And then hands can come down your back pockets. Roll your shoulders back. Hug your elbows in. Tuck tailbone, lifted gaze. You can stay right here. If you want to go further, keep lifting up first and slowly go back just for 7 and 6, 5, 4, 3. Make your way up in 2, rise in 1. And exhale, take a seat. Breathe in. And breathe out. And breathe in. And out. Now go ahead and lean over your hips, sweep your feet out in front of you. You can scoop forward so you're more towards the top of your mat. And keep your right foot out. Bring your left foot against your inner right thigh. Now from here, interlace your fingers. Bend your right knee so your forehead can meet it. And then once your forehead meets it, slide your hands under the ball mound of your foot. From there, you can straighten your right leg more. And if your right leg is completely straight and your forehead's on your knee, from there you can open your arms to opposite sides of the room. Just 3 and 2 and release, and then we'll switch. You can keep your grip, left foot out, right foot in, sit up tall, bend your knee, flex your foot, hands under the ball mound of your foot, forehead to knee. From there, slide your heel away from you, and arms can open out to opposite sides of the room. And last 3, 2, and release. Go ahead and sit up tall. Extend both feet out in front of you. You can release your grip, bend your knees, flex your feet. So again, we're prioritizing sitting tall. And now seated forward fold. Peace fingers to toes. Draw your shoulders back, lift your chest. Now from here, use your arms to pull your collarbones forward. And from there, if you can straighten your legs, maybe your legs straighten. You can tuck your chin now, pull the crown of your head towards your toes. For another 3. Last 2, and release. Sit up tall. And if you're not already, scoop forward so your heels are at the edge of your mat. Reach your hands forward, tuck your chin, tuck your tailbone, mindfully lower down, and reach your arms overhead. Now bring your right knee into your chest, give it a squeeze, maybe a gentle rock, so your hands wrap over your shin. And just a gentle supine twist, left hand over your right leg. And go ahead and twist left. You can cactus your right arm or reach it out to a T. And shoulders here stay grounded. We're not trying to force any depth, but just let your body go where it can. Just surrendering into the twist. Back to center. Give your right leg another squeeze. And release, full body stretch. And bring your left leg in. Hands over your shin, squeeze, and a gentle rock. And from here, supine twist, right arm over your left thigh. Twist right. Look straight up or look left. Last exhale. And as you breathe in, back to center, give your leg a squeeze. Release, full body stretch. Now bring both knees and thighs in. Hands over your knees. Ground to as much of your spine as you can. So this is a big stretch for the back side of your body. Shoulders ground, chin tucks. And now bring your forehead to meet your knees. Squeeze into a little ball. Hold here 3. Last 2. And Savasana. Let your legs lay long. Let your arms rest at your sides. And take a long, slow breath in through your nose. And slow open mouth exhale. 2 more just like that. Slowly breathe in. Slower breath out. Last one, slow breath in. And slow breath out. And give yourself permission here to just be still. Allow yourself to rest. Acknowledge how your body's feeling. And if you need more time, take it. But as you're ready, you can invite movement to your fingers and your toes, ankles and your wrists. Maybe take a full body stretch. Bring your knees into your chest. Maybe rock a little side to side. little front to back. Doing what you need to wrap up, making it up into a seat. Shoulders up, down your back. If that feels all right, you can bring your left hand on your heart, right hand over your left. And acknowledge yourself for showing up, for setting aside this time to do something for you. And thank you so much for inviting me into it. It's been a pleasure and an honor. Thank you so much.